Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. The reason I laugh, you might see me laugh when I say that sometimes because I hear myself say it's Sunday and it's 3 a.m. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, oh my God, every time I say that, I ask myself, why am I so crazy to be sitting here at 3 a.m., getting out of bed at 2 to do these videos? But I do it. Okay, so I got to make a video about Donald Trump today. I saw, a lot of you probably saw this story, some of the stuff he said in California. And I don't know how do I feel when I saw this video. The video will be down below, and the links to these stories will be down below. And I have to say one of the biggest feelings is fear, concern, fear, anger, loss of respect. Let me start at the beginning. Like I said, the links for this will all be down below. He said a lot of stuff, but let me center on a few things. Like I said, you can watch the actual video of him saying this stuff. He talked about burglary or robberies in stores in California. And he actually said this. He says he's got a way to stop it. And this is the one that scares me for the country. He says he's got a sure way to stop these robberies or shoplifting or whatever in stores. He's talking about stores being robbed in California. He says as soon as they come out, the police to take. I want to be careful how I say this. Take them out, shoot them when they come out the store. That's his method to solve this. And I hear the thing whenever I hear him say stuff like this, I want to see the faces in the crowds. I'm trying to figure out because you hear them yell and scream and cheer. And I'm like, do they actually believe this? Are they actually condoning this? Is this a joke? That's what I can't believe what I'm seeing. So what he's saying here, and he's saying it adamantly, and everybody's agreeing with him, that innocent until proven guilty, one of the main foundations of our country, just goes right out the window. And I could see news stories if this happened, and it probably will happen sooner or later. His followers are so adamant, so cult-like, that I could see this happening. And I could see somebody coming out of a store mistaken for somebody else and an innocent person being, that's why we have innocent until proven guilty. But it just freaks me out that he's got thousands or hundreds of thousands of people or millions of people, of Americans, going along with him on this. It scares me for the country. Okay, the next one, Los Angeles. It concerns me the people that actually believe him and follow him. Okay, he was in Cal. Now the video for this will be right down below, and he mentioned this before. He talks about showers. Okay, and he said I don't have the exact words written down, but he said something. He said the rich people in Beverly Hills. He pointed them out. So he's talking to Californians. All Californians are in front of him. His Californian followers, his MAGA followers. But he says the rich people in Beverly Hills, well, they don't smell so good because this is all dishonest. None of this is true. There has been droughts. There was restrictions on use of outside water, which is we've had them here before. When the water level gets low, you're not supposed to wash your car or just wash it once a week. There's restrictions. It happens. It's a natural thing. It is what it is. And so he makes up this thing. He's standing there and he makes up this thing that the rich people in Beverly Hills are told to take, that somebody tells them they have to take short showers and shut the water off. And then he goes on to say that that's why the people in Beverly Hills generally don't smell so good. And, and you hear the people cheering and laughing. And I'm asking myself, this is the leader of our country, supposedly the great. This is why I say supposedly the greatest country in the world, because when you elect somebody like this, how can the rest of the world look at you as the greatest country in the world? When you're dishonestly making fun of it, it sounds like something out of kindergarten or junior high. And you hear the thing that freaks me out is when I hear the whole crowd cheer him on. And then he says, it just gets creepier and worse when he says, when you meet somebody from Beverly Hills, you know that there's something disgusting going on under there. Those are words he actually used, like under their clothes. Like I said, it makes me fear for the country. It makes the rest of the world, the way they look at us. Now, this is the thing. This is another thing I thought about. Okay, these are all Californians, right? So he says the rich people in Beverly Hills. So what's he saying? The rich people in Beverly Hills have these specific water restrictions, and the rest of California, the rest of Los Angeles doesn't? No, he's just specifically picking the wealthy people of Beverly Hills because I don't know if he's got some kind of, as usual, he's got some kind of inferiority complex. That, that he's wealthy, or he's more wealthy than these wealthy people, and he has to put these wealthy people down, that they smell bad. I don't know if that's it, or I don't know if he actually is deep enough to realize that he's talking to Californians, and when he calls the people of Beverly Hills smelly, he's calling them smelly, and they're all cheering him on and laughing, and they don't even realize that basically what he's doing is saying they stink. How is he actually saying that the water restrictions, and none of this is true, but in his mind, are the water restrictions just for wealthy people in Beverly Hills? Does he have some kind of issue with other wealthy people? Is that what this an inferiority complex? Or does he actually realize that, oops, I better say which Californians, so he's picking on the supposed Democrat elite in Beverly Hills. Well, they're the ones that stink, and you guys don't stink because these supposed water restrictions don't apply to you. And none of this makes sense. And I hear the crowd cheer and laugh, and that brings me to my last point. Okay, he talks about Nancy Pelosi again. This was over a year ago. This was a senior citizen, an elderly man, and now that I get older, my first thing I think of is my parents, and they're going to be 80. And if this happened to them, and if I ever heard somebody say this stuff about my parents, I would lose my mind. So he talks about Nancy Pelosi's husband, and he makes fun of him. He says, I heard he had a wall around his house. That didn't work. How's he doing anyway? That didn't work out. Nancy Pelosi's husband had to get brain surgery for a fractured skull because one of Donald Trump's followers, one of his own followers that listens to all this nonsense, broke in his home. So this brings me to my last point. This is why I'm a single guy, so I'm still out there. I'm still looking at the dating. I'm still in the dating pool. This is why I have a hard and fast rule. Now, I've actually put this. I've told you guys before. I have a site. I have a page on Plenty of Fish. It's probably one of the most popular dating sites in the country. And I actually, in my profile, I have put it. Donald Trump supporters are need not apply. Donald Trump supporter. I think the words I use are, it's a deal breaker. Don't even bother sending me a message. I try to say it nicely. I've actually had women say, I'm a Donald Trump supporter, and what do you think of me? And I try to say it as nicely as possible. I say, I'm sorry you feel that way, and we really don't have that much in common, and thanks for the comment, or thanks for the reply. And that's all I say. I just try not to be rude. But I can't respect anybody that condones this, that thinks this is funny. I don't know if they believe it. I don't know if they condone it. I don't know if they think it's funny. I don't know if they realize that it's not true. Like the stuff about the water. I don't know but if it's any of those things, I don't respect that person. I just don't. And there's actually people in my family who I love, and I can't say that I will always love and respect my family, but it hurts me to see them believe this nonsense, to actually think that Donald Trump is the one telling the truth and everybody else is lying. It makes me worry, actually believe that and then Fox News perpetrating these and the other far right channels, which I believe one of them is covering this is where the clip came from, where he's talking about the Beverly Hills water. I think it's America One or whatever. Newsmax or whatever, pushing this stuff, these lies. The whole thing, it scares me. I think that's the best word to use. It doesn't necessarily make me mad, but it scares me for the country. It makes me sad that the rest of the world sees him as one of us. He's an embarrassment for the United States. I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good Sunday.